So America is about a video away from getting up 2 colonies and taking a very highly strategic placement from a city in Central America. Highly strategic location. I don't know what I was trying to say there. That didn't make any sense. But Portland was settled. So actually, they're only going to settle one more city because they already founded Portland. They did, in fact, take this natural wonder off of Australia. They have the South Island, Chicago of New Zealand, and they just settled Seattle. So America will be going for, I think they'll probably be going for one of these islands out here. Who knows, actually? I don't know. I bet you America's probably going to go a little bit further than that because the AI loves to go a little bit further. Maybe Papua New Guinea. There's still a lot of jungle tiles, so that's going to lead to a lot of science whenever you get a university up. But this is what I'm talking about. This is the strategic city. Now, I think they're still a video away from taking this because they did lose a melee unit nearby, so they've got to get either one of these three Great War infantry close to the city. And actually, one just embarked. Oh, there's actually a rifleman here. They can't use this road, so they're still about 2 turns away. But either way, this is going to fall. Now, the problem is, though, is that this city is probably going to be taken by the Inca, which is not good. This is not good for America. Washington needed all 3 of these cities. I don't think he needed, but it'd be really helpful if he got all 3 of these cities. He did gather up the uranium, though. He stole away the uranium from this city. But it would have been much better for him if these were all his borders. That way he could connect his Caribbean colonies to his Central America colonies and then back to his homeland off of Boston and the Chichen Itza. Eventually his border growth will grow to that length. And the Inca are now going to play a little bit of a bigger role in somewhat of North America. I mean, the Inca are going to, I think if they take the city, they'd have their first border with the Texans. And that's something they need to kind of worry about. But it's getting more and more interesting in the New World, especially seeing this kind of dominant America, or not really dominant, but this rising power out of America in the 20th century. Persia still's not settled here. Japan is at war with Gandhi. Obviously, he's not doing much with his privateers, though. But yes, and also Russia and the Mongols are very close to taking these 2 cities. Mongols should be able to do that. It's very difficult for them because the mountains are in the way. So clearly these mountains are having huge problems. The AI still has pretty big problems with mountains, especially pre-artillery. Which actually, these are artillery. Oh, these are cannons. Never mind. I don't think those are replacements to the artillery. I think they're replacement to cannons. That makes sense, but I'm not 100% about that. So Russia should take the first Tibet city away. Korea and Mongolia are disappointing, because they're not really invading here. Korea is trying, but they're having to move through Mongolian lands. Mongolia did settle, I think, a new city. They founded a new city. Japan staying quiet as California continues to, I think, look for something else new in Siberia. Maybe something non-coastal, which is surprising. Whoa! Okay, so that is the biggest war we've seen so far in the campaign, Persia and Ethiopia. That is by far the biggest war we've seen in the campaign. So that's Ethiopia declaring war on Persia. That might be a solo war for now, but somebody else might join up on that. That right there is huge. This is by far the biggest war we've seen in the campaign. Babylon finally took Istanbul, which means that Germany is no longer in the campaign. Argentina declared war on Persia as well. That's also a very big deal. So people are once again attacking Persia, which means that we might see more people join in. Argentina also declared war against France. I don't know. That's a little bit confusing. Argentina declared war on both Persia and France at the same time. This might be because they're both in their own separate coalitions. They're both the target of a coalition, 2 separate ones. But I don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and see how this turn plays out. That's huge. I was not anticipating that because there is an immediate border, and Ethiopia has been using their open borders agreement through Harun al-Rashid's territory to move an okay army, a nice-sized army, this way. And remember, both of these nations were competitive in moving across the Indian Ocean to go out and find new land to colonize. The Ashanti and Indonesia have peaced out with Tibet. Okay. Yeah, some of the colonies the colonial wars will also be interesting in the Pacific. But yeah, this is big. Wow. This is I know I've already said this many times, but like this is the biggest war we've seen in the campaign. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the biggest war we've seen in the campaign. Now, both of these nations have no Air Force units, but they both have really big navies. Obviously, it seems like Ethiopia should have the advantage. However, because both of these empires are so sprawling, it really depends on the location of each unit. Really depends on, the location that we're going to see here. Persia, I think, is behind in technology, as well as Persia has nothing really stationed over here. Nothing really, as well as Ethiopia has their unique units. So this could mean a few different things. A few more nations might declare war on Persia, or Ethiopia could lose a lot of units, and the Congo could declare war and backstab Ethiopia. I say backstab because Ethiopia has open borders with the Congo at the moment. So that could be a possibility. That is really, really shocking. Ethiopia is going to need to get their navy up out of Madagascar and to bring them up this way, because if you look at it, Persia actually has five coastal cities. Actually, you could say 6, all very close together. If a big enough navy attacks, then Persia's going to collapse here. I can't see Ethiopia being the sole provider of this collapse that we might see in the Middle East. I think somebody else is going to need to join in. Now, the Mongols are pretty distracted at this point with the Huns, and they should just stick with their war against Attila in the north. Wait, does somebody else declare war? No. Okay. So we need to see if anyone else is going to join in on this war. Turn 347. Our first kind of great power war. A lot of people had Persia and Ethiopia in their power rankings, and now we're starting to see kind of top 10 nations kind of go at it for the first time. While they were kind of eating away at each other before, now we see our first great war, 1927. We'll see if this leads to a world war. It's possible. It's around that time period that maybe it could happen. Mongols are moving through Persian territory, so I'm not sure. Let's see what the Persians do to counteract the Ethiopians. Okay, so they're bringing in more of their fleet. They're going to need to kind of stop their colonization here. Oh, but Ethiopia's going to get their settlers completely destroyed. So Ethiopia's this is gonna be interesting, especially for the New World, because since this big it's almost a colonial war in a sense, a colonial war with super non-traditional empires, Persia and Ethiopia, who are kind of colonial powerhouses in the Pacific. Both of these nations are going to have to halt their colonization, which might open up more for Argentina and America to grab more land at the last second. That is definitely a possibility that I think we're going to see, because Persia and Ethiopia were the dominant powers in the Pacific and in Australia. SALT has been founded. So, yeah, this is going to really affect a lot. Indonesia and Spain, Greece and Spain. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, hold on. Okay, that doesn't really mean nothing significant occurred. Spain and Poland have pieced out. We have Arabia and Norway, and Poland and Norway. I'm sorry. Poland and Arabia, which means nothing, and Norway and Arabia. So yeah, there's nothing there. Lots of denouncements occurring. Why is this happening now, though? So Greece, I don't think is going to be able to attack Spain. There's no way. Greece is, has their hands tied pretty much at this point. Spain has no colonies. Portugal does, though. Remember the Portuguese colony in South Madagascar, southern Madagascar. Okay, no more wars. No more wars for now. Indonesia has their own air force. We've got the Congo building the Eiffel Tower. And yeah, Persia's not going to reinforce their kind of homeland area. Moving through Babylon. So Babylon is free to do whatever they want now that they've taken over Istanbul. Spain. What's going on with Spain? Oh, that's right. Spain does they do have a colony. So Greece might be able to try something against Spain. Indonesia, no. But yeah, Greece, they have a chance. Actually, where did the Greek navy go? Did they delete it, or were they forced to... Remember, the Greeks had a pretty big navy beforehand. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Russia's going to take over this Tibet city. Okay, so a lot more cities are about to fall. Really, really soon. Are the Mongols going to stay in this war? Because I could see them piecing out, because it's just so difficult to move through these mountains. This is why I eliminate mountains, which I actually don't know. I might not eliminate them in the next series, But this is why I do not like mountains. It's just not. The AI just cannot do them. Okay, so lots of things are happening. No more new wars popped up, but the Mayans are going to lose their capital, and actually America has an opportunity of stealing away the southern Mayan city as well from the Inca. We'll see if they can do that. America's the first to go, so they'll take this city over. Swoops. Now, we need to see where their units go from here. How are they going to... Okay, yes, they have a very good opportunity of taking this over. That is so huge. Notice also the borders now. So America, they do, at this point, they have a route to the Pacific. It's not a very clean path, though. If they can take this city over from the Inca, that would be just massive for them. That would be massive. Okay, let's see what Persia does. Actually, didn't even see what Ethiopia did in their processing. So they're going to go after the Persian capital, which obviously would mean the collapse of Persia if they lose their capital. The AI is just not able to do this. The Romans still using that open borders agreement through Spain and Greece to attack the Byzantium Empire. So they've got a pretty good fleet actually here. But Byzantium's going to reinforce. I'm actually surprised. Oh, you know what? Byzantium has no open borders through Greece, which is really screwing them right now. I mean, they'll be able to defend Constantinople, but I don't know about this city. This would be a huge pickup for Rome if they grab this, though. It really opens up a whole, oh, you pieced out. Actually, that's not that bad, but you probably shouldn't have pieced out. I think you had a pretty good chance of taking this. Either way, still huge pickup for America. And it's a good pickup that the Inca didn't take that Mayan city. So still very overall big victory for them. Oh my gosh, is that a separate settler? No, that was a guy that double backed around. Lots of denouncements still. And a few research agreements here and there. Persia, you're making a mistake. Yep, the Congo did settle here. We're seeing a lot of Ethiopians. A lot of Ethiopian ships moving after the first Persian coastal city. This is what Ethiopia wanted. I think Ethiopia probably just wanted more control over the Arabian Peninsula. But they're also going to try to take the Persian capital as well. Persia and Babylon still friends. There's still an open borders agreement. Russia has processed their turn, but they didn't take over this Tibet city. They didn't peace out, though, did they? No. They did not peace out. Yes, so that's very big for America. Big pickup for them. Yeah, so looks like next turn, Russia should grab this one. The Koreans are, again, not going ahead. And will the Mongols get this job done? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe with Russia's help. I'm not sure if Russia's still in this war. I think they are. I think that's why we're seeing troops over this way. So Russia might swoop in on this city and steal it away. I'd like to see a Southeast Asian war, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So what do you have, Indonesia? Just a triplane and a Great War Bomber, 2 triplanes and a Great War Bomber. That's about it. And was this city settled? No, I think it will settle there. I don't think they'd be going anyplace else. That is Washington. I don't see where else he'd want to settle. Yeah, but Argentina and America now, or anybody from the New World that wants it, can go out this way and colonize a little bit with more freedom, I guess. So the thing is, though, Persia really, I don't think has a significant enemy nearby that they'd have to worry about, except for maybe Russia. And if Babylon backstabs them, that's also a possibility. So, I don't know. Persia they might be okay for a little bit. Spain's going to keep Barcelona, I think, for now, because Greece lost most of their colonies. Rome's still going for some settlers. They're probably going to still try to find a few more spots. Vietnam has built the Cristo Redentor. Interesting, Vietnam. Oh my goodness. Look at this, an invasion of Lisbon by Chile. That is surprising. I don't think they're going to be able to do this. I don't think they're going to be able to get the job done, but still, that's awesome that Chile tried that. We're seeing a New World invasion of a European power. And Portugal's not that bad, honestly. Portugal isn't that bad. Wow, that is shocking. I didn't think that we'd see that. I didn't think we'd see something like that before. The Sioux putting more and more pressure on Canadian cities. The Sioux air dominance is obviously quite clear now. They have a huge air superiority, and Canada really can't do anything about it. So maybe that's where Washington attacks next, although he does not have anything protecting his main cities, which is not good. I mean, I know he probably invested a lot to taking over Central America, but still, he needs to watch North America. That should be his #1 priority, is keeping that city safe. Yeah, so St. Louis was settled right next to Seattle. Russia did manage to take the first Tibet city. It's a miracle. Again, this really spreads Russia out, though. This is really starting to spread them out. Continue to take cities over like this. Poland, quiet. So is Scandinavia. Yeah, these cities still very quiet. I don't believe the English or the British have peaced out with Greece yet. Oh, Korea peaced out Tibet, so Tibet is done. Mongolia's not going to go after them, I don't think. Vietnam might try, but yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, Southeast Asia also looks like it's getting ready to blow. Are there any colonial wars that are occurring? I know that Persia has a few colonies out here. 1, 2. There's also another settler coming out this way. Yeah, actually, there's no real big border. Oh, here we go. So now we're starting to see Persia actually might grab this city away. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, 1 ironclad and a few frigates. They are almost guaranteed to take that over. Oh my gosh, I didn't really think about that. Another Ethiopian city is also coastal, but it's going to be a little bit harder than this one. That has a lot of sea tiles nearby. Oh man, alright, so the first Persian city might fall, and there's going to be a big invasion for the Persian capital. Rome doing an okay job here. I think they can do... I don't know, it's going to be close. Even if Rome does this, they might not keep a hold of it. Ethiopia bringing in reinforcements. Persia needs to be careful. Persia needs to be careful. But again, I think Ethiopia is actually the one that has more to lose here. Ethiopia is a greater power, and they border a much more significant rival, the Congo. And the Congo might be distracted a little bit, but that needs to be... I don't know. Someone needs to kind of pay attention in Ethiopia to make sure that they watch their other front. Because this battle might go well for you, but if you lose too many troops, it happens. It happens sometimes all the time. It happens every time, 60% of the time. No, I messed that up. 60% of the time it happens every time. Something like that. Is there any more colonies, any more settlers out this way? I mean, I know that Persia's still setting settlers out. So are the Chinook. Do we see anything else? No, nothing else. California still has not decided where they're going to settle at. The Ashanti, are you going to get involved in any of these wars? No. Nothing else new. See, because the Sioux have slowed down in North America, they've really allowed a lot of the other nations to rebuild, which is going to mean the Sioux will not have, I think, enough dominance. Well, I don't know. They're still very strong when it comes to this Canadian invasion. But we'll see if they actually try to take cities away, because they've got no melee units nearby. Who knows? Anyways, guys, I'm about to stop right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.